Did Dad ask what I was doing? Because they'll be like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because I do these rogue projects and he's like, what are you doing?
End up finding out why he goes, what?
Yep. A lot of time my rogue projects don't work.
You can tell where it all melted the next day. Hot water it is.
Wait, how about the blower torch?
Oh, the blowtorch?
Oh yeah.
Liliana it was her idea. I know. This is why you have kids. High five. Good idea.
That the stays there. I got it a long time ago,
Oh, yeah.
and it stayed there forever. It actually did stay.
Is that when you got in that one fight in that underground fight club?
No.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Haha.
There we go.
Good.
I don't want to jinx us. Let me be very careful walking here.
Woo. What are you guys doing up here?
Well, we are going to empty out the chicken coop today. And we're going to take all that deep litter that's been in there and all that poop. We're going to take everything that's been inside the chicken coop over the winter. It's starting to smell a little ammonia. So we're going to swap it out today. We got a bunch of sawdust and wood chips that we're going to swap things out with today.
That sounds right. Yeah, so we're taking it out now so we can use it in the garden. Our last frost date is May 23rd here. So I want to give it like a good solid month to really become less hot. Yeah, we'll take that and put it into a compost heap so that we can put it in the garden bed, you know, hopefully prior to our last frost date.
Yeah.
The ground's still frozen, which is pretty awesome. So we can actually walk on it instead of sinking up to our thighs.
Yeah, we still do have a couple of feet of snow. It's all melting, and today it's warm. Over the nights, it is getting down into the teens. We are getting closer and closer to being able to freely move around, and which is good because we have a house full of starts right now. It's April 10th right now, and it is starting to warm up quite a bit. I think next week we're supposed to have in the 48 to 50 range during the day.
But it did just snow the other day too. So
It did just snow a couple inches the other day though. It melted really fast, but so we're gonna try to get all this poop moved, and we're gonna start a pile outside the chicken coops so we can start breaking that down and replace everything inside it today. And hopefully we'll have some happy chickens.
Yeah.
Well, they're already happy. They're super happy. But I think they're eager to get the snow melted too because they want to scrounge and scratch and peck. All right, well, let's do it.
Yeah. Scoop that poop, man.
dry.
I know. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
It starts getting deep. Do you want a face mask?
No. So we're using what's called, I guess if you wanted to label it, we're using what's called a deep litter method, where we have, it's probably about 6 to 8 inches of their litter in here, and we just keep layering it up over the time, and then we hope we go into the winter, the cold. We want to go into the cold season with a fairly deep layer. Because what happens is this is all breaking down into there and kind of composting. And that composting action produces heat. And that heat comes up and keeps the coop warmer. So that's kind of a natural way of doing this. And we probably aren't doing it optimally, but it seems to work for us.
Yeah, it looks well. We had 3 weeks of -20.
Yeah, our temperatures last November got down into almost -30, and the chickens, I mean, don't get me wrong, they were probably cold in here, but they didn't freeze.
That's your job. So right here, we use these Easter eggs as a kind of an instrument to show them where to lay when we built these new hen boxes, or anytime, you know, train your chickens where to lay. And they have stuff you can get at the pet stores, but we had these on hand. And here's 3 eggs. We think we have a chicken that's starting to go broody, so we're gonna run an experiment and see how that goes for her. And if she is broody, we're gonna sneak some baby roosters under her. But we'll be building a separate box underneath these hen boxes for her and the baby chicks. That concludes our cleaning out of this for spring season. It's warm enough now. In the 40s, it's still getting, you know, low teens, 20s, but it's warming up during the day. So I'm really happy to get this done. They're pretty happy too. And Richard's take the bedding that was clean that we had on top, or intermixed, and laid it out here so it's not all soggy. It looks really good out here. Plus the chickens love digging in it. He's also done under the hen house itself and put a bunch of this under because the snow and ice are melting, so this will help make it not such a mucky, muddy mess down there. Roughly we'll let this sit 30 days, and I'll be checking it once in a while. so we can make this into beautiful fertilizer and put it on our beds as soon as the ground can be worked. So one thing I wanted to add is we got these bags of sawdust from a local mill. We pay them for them. In Oregon, we had an awesome thing called Chip Drop, where you could donate money and local arborists would then drop wood chips into your yard in a designated spot. And that was an awesome thing. And we use that several times a year there. And I'm hoping all of you out there have a local resource where you have something like that. And please comment below and maybe where you're at to help others out. It's a great resource. Wood chips are an amazing thing, and pine shavings at the store can be pretty costly. So this is, I find, a more inexpensive way to do it. And plus these can be helpful if you're storing things in a root cellar. And we'll talk about that in a future video. Just gonna do it.
All right, so we got our replacement inverter here from Xantrex. All right, what we're gonna do now is we gotta turn this on. Watch it not.
Do the air code.
It's going to though.
Yeah. That's not the way our life works too. That's not it. We get the air code that nobody else gets. That's what happens to us.
Press and hold OK.
That's fun. Can you make the beat a little bit more upbeat?
I know, right? Well, that's cool.
What does that mean?
Well, all the settings on here are default.
What does that mean?
That means that we don't have to do anything. All we have to do is power everything down, disconnect all this, put the new one in, and see what happens.
So we've been without like primary electricity for 2 weeks, right? Roughly?
Is it 2 weeks?
A week and a half, I feel like. Or maybe it is just floating in the ocean.
We probably saved $1,000 by doing this ourselves too.
Oh yeah.
Other than having somebody come out and take the old one out and replace it. I don't know. That's probably a lot of money, but I bet you it was a couple $100 at least.
Well, and honey, I you might be right because we're out here.
Yeah. True.
I think a lot of electricians are going to be like, where? No, I don't want to go there.
Do I need to bring a plane?
When I was at the appliance store, they were, because they guarantee their appliances, and they were like, well, you know, where are you at, you know, and because we needed a repair, and they're like, oh, thank goodness, because last one we did, you know, it was out there. They're like, we can't come out there, you know, that they needed like a 4-wheeler and to cross all this creeks and stuff. Like,
so I mean, if they have to cross all that, do they like, never mind, there's no warranty?
No, I think they said you got to
bring
it in. You got to bring it in. We can't. I mean, they're repair people. You can't expect them to have ATVs and
Sears would have come out.
Interestingly enough, a lot of those guys used to work for Sears.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to do the honors for the test? Flip the main breaker. All the way, all the way. Now I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to see what happens. I'm just going to assume it's going to work, right? Because it's brand new. Why would it have a error 10 right off the bat?
Should I be in the room or should I go outside the house?
Okay, there's the fridge came on.
Okay.
Solar input. Well, no error. Awesome. Cool. That might just be mission accomplished.
Dun, 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 dun. This winter we had a lot of snow and then melting real fast, and so the river rose really high, and as a consequence there were a bunch of trees floating down the river, and they got caught at the bridge here and kind of gummed it up, built a dam. And so the state troopers, and I don't know who else was involved, but they had to take care of the trees. So I'll show you kind of the remnants of some of those trees that were all gumming up the bridge, and potentially could take it down. So some of the size of these bases is huge. I don't think we have any trees on our property of that caliber. So I'm easily counting like 20 trees here that were all piled up here at the bridge. So this is a pretty big bridge, and I mean there's a lot of room for the river, but I mean, so you can imagine how many trees are here if they were really concerned about it flooding the whole area. But this is a little Susitna River here.